Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Thursday, the 22nd of February 2024, and we have 51 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 1076. Starting with the most recent event, which happened 6 years ago, a man throws a grenade at the US Embassy in Podgorica, Montenegro. He dies at the scene from a second explosion, with no one else hurt. 9 years ago in 2015, a ferry carrying 100 passengers capsizes in the Padma River, killing 70 people. 10 years ago in 2014, President Viktor Yanukovych of Ukraine is impeached by the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine by a vote of 328 to 0, fulfilling a major goal of the Euromaidan rebellion. 12 years ago in 2012, a train crash in Buenos Aires, Argentina, kills 51 people and injures 700 others. 13 years ago in 2011, New Zealand's second deadliest earthquake strikes Christchurch, killing 185 people. In the same year, in the Bahraini uprising, tens of thousands of people march in protest against the deaths of 7 victims killed by police and army forces during previous protests. "18 years ago in 2006, at approximately 6:44 a.m. local Iraqi time, explosions occurred at the Al-Askari Shrine in Samarra, Iraq. The attack on the shrine, one of the holiest sites in Shia Islam, caused the escalation of sectarian tensions in Iraq into a full-scale civil war. In the same year, the Securitas depot robbery was the UK's largest heist. Almost £53 million, about $92.5 million or 78 million euros, was stolen from a Securitas depot in Tonbridge, Kent. "19 years ago in 2005, the 6.4 magnitude Zaran earthquake shakes the Kerman province of Iran with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 8, leaving 612 people dead and 1,411 injured. 22 years ago in 2004, Angolan political and rebel leader Jonas Savimbi is killed in a military ambush. 27 years ago in 1997, in Roslin, Midlothian, British scientists announced that an adult sheep named Dolly has been successfully cloned. 29 years ago in 1995, the Corona Reconnaissance Satellite Program, in existence from 1959 to 1972, is declassified. 30 years ago in 1994, Aldrich Ames and his wife are charged by the United States Department of Justice with spying for the Soviet Union. 38 years ago in 1986, start of the People Power Revolution in the Philippines. 41 years ago in 1983, the notorious Broadway flop Moose Murders opens and closes on the same night at the Eugene O'Neill Theatre. 44 years ago in 1980, Miracle on Ice. In Lake Placid, New York, the United States hockey team defeats the Soviet Union hockey team 4-3. "45 years ago in 1979, Saint Lucia gains independence from the United Kingdom. "50 years ago in 1974, the organisation of the Islamic Conference Summit begins in Lahore, Pakistan. 37 countries attend and 22 heads of state and government participate. It also recognises Bangladesh. "50 years ago in 1974, Samuel Bick attempts to hijack an aircraft at Baltimore, Washington International Airport with the intention of crashing it into the White House to assassinate Richard Nixon, but is killed by police. 51 years ago in 1973, in the Cold War, following President Richard Nixon's visit to the People's Republic of China, the two countries agree to establish liaison officers. 52 years ago in 1972, the official Irish Republican Army detonates a car bomb at Aldershot Barracks, killing 7 and injuring 19 others. 65 years ago in 1959, Lee Petty wins the first Daytona 500. 66 years ago in 1958, following a plebiscite in both countries the previous day, Egypt and Syria joined to form the United Arab Republic. 67 years ago in 1957, Ngo Dinh Diem of South Vietnam survived a communist shooting assassination attempt in Buon Ma Thuot. 78 years ago in 1946, the Long Telegram proposing how the United States should deal with the Soviet Union arrives from the US Embassy in Moscow. 80 years ago in 1944, in World War II, American aircraft mistakenly bomb the Dutch towns of Nijmegen, Arnhem, Enschede and Deventer, resulting in 800 dead in Nijmegen alone. In the same year, also in World War II, the Soviet Red Army recaptures Kryvyi Rog. 81 years ago in 1943, in World War II, members of the White Rose Resistance, Sophie Scholl, Hans Scholl and Christoph Prost, are executed in Nazi Germany. 82 years ago in 1942, once again in World War II, President Franklin D. Roosevelt orders General Douglas MacArthur out of the Philippines as the Japanese victory becomes inevitable. 103 years ago in 1921, after Russian forces under Baron Roman von Ungern-Sternberg drive the Chinese out, the Bogd Khan is reinstalled as the Emperor of Mongolia. Citation needed. 115 years ago in 1909, the 16 battleships of the Great White Fleet, led by USS Connecticut, return to the United States after a voyage around the world. 120 years ago in 1904, the United Kingdom sells a meteorological station on the South Orkney Islands to Argentina. The islands are subsequently claimed by the United Kingdom in 1908. 125 years ago in 1899, Filipino forces led by General Antonio Luna launch counterattacks for the first time against the American forces during the Philippine-American War. the Filipinos failed to regain Manila from the Americans. "135 years ago in 1889, President Grover Cleveland signed a bill admitting North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and Washington as U.S. states. "143 years ago in 1881, Cleopatra's Needle, a 3,500-year-old ancient Egyptian obelisk, is erected in Central Park, New York. 145 years ago in 1879, in Utica, New York, Frank Woolworth opens the first of many of 5 and dime Woolworth stores. 152 years ago in 1872, the Prohibition Party holds its first national convention in Columbus, Ohio, nominating James Black as its presidential nominee. 162 years ago in 1862, American Civil War. Jefferson Davis is officially inaugurated for a 6-year term as the President of the Confederate States of America in Richmond, Virginia. He was previously inaugurated as a provisional president on February the 18th, 1861. 168 years ago in 1856, the United States Republican Party opens its first national convention in Pittsburgh. 176 years ago in 1848, the French Revolution of 1848, which would lead to the establishment of the French Second Republic, begins. 177 years ago in 1847, the Mexican-American War, the Battle of Buena Vista. 5,000 American troops defeat 15,000 Mexican troops. 205 years ago in 1819, by the Adams-Onis Treaty, Spain sells Florida to the United States for $5 million. 227 years ago in 1797, the last invasion of Britain begins near Fishguard, Wales. 254 years ago in 1770, British Customs Officer Ebenezer Richardson fires blindly into a crowd during a protest in North End, Boston, fatally wounding 11-year-old Christopher Sider, the first American fatality of the American Revolution. "280 years ago in 1744, War of the Austrian Succession. The Battle of Toulon causes several Royal Navy captains to be court-martialed and the Articles of War to be amended. 373 years ago in 1651, St. Peter's Flood. The storm surge floods the Frisian coast, drowning 15,000 people. 392 years ago in 1632, Ferdinando II di Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany, the dedicatee, receives the first printed copy of Galileo's dialogue concerning the two chief world systems. 529 years ago in 1495, King Charles VIII of France enters Naples to claim the city's throne. 653 years ago in 1371, Robert II becomes King of Scotland, beginning the Stuart dynasty. 708 years ago in 1316, The Battle of Picatin between Ferdinand of Majorca and the forces of Matilda of Hainaut ends in victory for Ferdinand. "948 years ago, in the year 1076, having received a letter during the Lenten Synod of 14th to 20th of February demanding that he abdicate, Pope Gregory VII excommunicates Henry IV, Holy Roman Emperor." So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.